Here's a nice follow-up to a story we first told you about last week. In fact, Deanie and I are calling it the story of the day. Remember that missing laptop from Salt Lake International? Well, you know, the one with all the all-important medical information for a Chicago woman. It has been found. This specialist Alex Cabrero was on that story for us last week. He now joins us live this evening at the airport. And Alex, this is something else, isn't it?
It really is, Mike. You know, it's more proof that there are good people in the world. Now, some of the information on this laptop, such as her daughter's medical history from her rare genetic disorder, that information couldn't be replaced because it wasn't backed up elsewhere. So this Chicago woman was really upset that it was misplaced. However, yesterday I got an email from another woman, and that's when everything changed.
Getting it back just means the world.
Margaret McIntyre was already hoping for one miracle involving her daughter. She never thought her second one, involving her laptop, would come true.
With everything in the world today, we need some feel-good stories.
And boy, does this one make you smile. Last week, we covered a story about how Margaret's laptop was misplaced at the Salt Lake airport. The person helping with her daughter's wheelchair put someone else's laptop in Margaret's bag by mistake after going through security. But she really needed her laptop back because of the information on it.
It has everything to do with my daughter's medical history, her clinical trial, the information they need.
They were in Salt Lake because that clinical trial is at the University of Utah. It turns out Lindsay Borines, who lives in Utah, knew all about a missing laptop because her husband found out he had someone else's after flying out of Salt Lake.
It did say Margaret's name, which prompted us to at least try and look on the internet for who she is, but there's a lot more Margaret McIntyres than I would have expected.
But when she saw our story online yesterday, interviewing a Margaret McIntyre about a missing laptop,
it was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we have it.
Borines got in touch with me. I connected her to Margaret, and long story short, the great laptop mishap was solved.
I was so glad to know that, we finally know who she is and that we were going to be able to connect and get it back to her.
I really think we're going to have a lifelong friendship, which is actually just a cherry on the top.
Yeah, and get this, the laptop that Margaret has actually belongs to Lindsay's husband. They just happen to misplace the two different laptops. Now, Margaret says she will be back here in Utah in a couple of weeks to go back to the University of Utah for her daughter's clinical trial, and it's at that time the two sides are planning on meeting to exchange those laptops. Pretty cool ending to the story.
I have a feeling we'll be there in a couple of weeks, too. Is that safe to say, Alex?
I hope so.
I do, too.
I hope so.
Right.
Yep.
Great story. Well done. Thank you, Alex.